So welcome to part 2 of getting really great arm development. Now the part 1 was really focused on mass at the front of the arm, development through the front of the arm. Part 2 is focusing on the tricep. So getting really great development through the back of the arm here. Now I know that when you're looking in the mirror, this is not the bit that you see, but believe me, it's there, people see it. As I mentioned in part 1, what gives me a unique perspective on arm development is number 1, that I am an arm wrestler, so my sport is arms. So number 2, I'm an osteopath. And osteopaths have a great knowledge of anatomy through the biceps, triceps, the whole body, the shoulder, everything. And as a result of that, I can really combine both of them together to optimize arm development, arm growth, so you make sure that the exercises and the time that you're putting into your arms are giving the biggest benefit possible. So when we're looking at arm development through the triceps, there's a few things we need to think about. Number 1, load. Number 2, stretch. And stretch is a really important one, which many people will ignore or at least not know about. Now let's get into that. So the first thing we're going to do when we're really focusing on the triceps is thinking about the stretch of the muscle, because that is a really powerful way to get that muscle to grow, is to work it right into its full range of motion and full stretch. If you can stretch a muscle, studies have shown that's a really great way to stimulate more muscle growth rather than just working it in that shorter range of motion. Now the long head, the muscle, the tricep muscle at the back there is the one that crosses the shoulder joint. And as a result, if you want to really hit that muscle, you've got to work it through a stretch range of motion, because if you just work it here, it's shortened, it's not getting as much of a stimulus. The way we're going to do it is this. I want you to grab a cable but lower it down so that it's more around this kind of height. And then we're going to do an extension over the top. The reason why we want it lower is because if it's higher up, you sort of stop there. We want you extending all the way back through to stretch out that tricep. So like this. It's going to go behind you here, and then you're going to extend all the way up, of course. When you're lowering down, I want you to focus on this, not only to there, but bend all the way through and then let your elbows rise up to there and then up through. I can feel a really good stretch there, right into the triceps and then up. So you can get a full range of motion here, stretching through. And then up at the top, when you get to the top, always extend fully and squeeze triceps hard at the top. So you can see how we are getting really great extension through the tricep at the top of the movement there, bending the arms and then locking out hard at the top. There's another way we can do this really great exercise, but it's a slightly different variation of it, and it's really going to hit the triceps. This next one is the one that I find gives me the most DOMs in the triceps, so I really feel it is a fantastic exercise for hitting those triceps hard. And that's with a skull crusher with 2 dumbbells. So place the bench on a slight extension, and then you're going to extend all the way down through, right down to that either side of the head, and then up to there, and all the way down again. Now the benefit of this exercise is if you are making sure that you're extending all the way down, if the bench is at a slight incline, it means that you're stretching out that tricep more than if the bench was flat. So make sure your bench is slightly inclined and then extend all the way down through. Keep your elbows in line like this. Don't let them flare out to the side. The more you keep them in, the more you're going to be isolating that tricep muscle. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on the lateral head, right down in through there. And the way I find I can really target this muscle is by using more weight. So there's 2 ways that I like to do this exercise. Number 1 is with a assisted chin or dip, where you place the pad there that you're meant to put your knees in, and you've got your hands on and you're just pushing down like this. So you're not worried about stretching out the tricep here, you're worried about getting mass and weight into the lateral head through there. Another way is with this. So you're going to select the weight and you're going to be in this position and just squeezing down hard at the bottom and up to there, squeezing down hard. When you are extending and you reach fatigue, I then want you to take another step in the right direction by almost doing a drop set and making it easier by then focusing on just extending hard at the bottom like that. So it's full extension all the way through, pumping out the triceps. So it's an extension first and then into there. The very last thing we're going to do with this to hit the triceps is what we call a drop set, but you're not going to need someone to reduce the pin as we go. We're going to change the stress coming through the tricep by moving closer as we progress the set. So the first way you're doing it is stood out to here, and then you're pulling down. Now you're going to find that the weight is pulling you in that direction, so your triceps are working hard to not only extend, but to stop your arm from being extended. So you're going to work hard in the set through to here, As you reach fatigue or failure, take a step forwards, through to there. As you reach failure again, take another step forwards, and then just pump underneath like this, as we showed you in the other set. And that's how we're really going to hit the triceps. And believe me, smashing the triceps, getting good triceps, even though you don't see them in the mirror, will fill the t-shirt the way that you're wanting to. So hit the triceps, all three heads in varying angles with a heavy weight, lighter weight up through there, and you're going to find that you're going to get some great development. Now remember, part 1 video is what we're going to be linking to up there somewhere. That is isolating the front of the arm, brachialis, brachioradialis and the bicep through different angles of your wrist and angles of your shoulder, and how that isolates these muscles effectively and gives you the biggest bang for your buck for the effort that you're putting into the exercise.